In this video, I will explain the disease of amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, and how I have been blessed to be different from the statistics this video explains. And who is Otto Knoke? This first video is the beginning of a series of videos that will explain how I have implemented a smart house through automation to gain independence and a better quality of life. I thank the ALS Foundation, Florida chapter, for providing the video that explains what's ALS.
What is ALS? You may have heard about ALS through the Ice Bucket Challenge, or perhaps you know it as Lou Gehrig's disease, named after the famous baseball player who had ALS. But what is ALS and why does it matter? The full name for ALS is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, which sounds even more confusing unless you know what the words mean. Lateral sclerosis means that motor neurons, or the nerves that run up and down the spine that control muscle movement, slowly wither and die when people have the disease. Without those nerves to tell the muscles what to do, the muscles become weakened and paralyzed. That weakening of the muscles is what amyotrophic, the A in ALS, stands for. As the nerves stop working and muscles become paralyzed, a person with ALS gradually becomes unable to walk, use their arms, talk, eat, or even breathe without assistance. Eventually, the paralysis leads to the patient's death. Most ALS patients live 2 to 5 years after diagnosis, though a few live much longer. Nobody knows what causes ALS, and there is still no cure. In a few cases, it is passed down through genetics, but most of the time, there's no family history of the disease. It can affect anyone. In the US, an average of 15 new cases of ALS are diagnosed every day, and about 30,000 Americans are currently living with the disease. It's most common in people between 40 and 70 years old, though it can affect people at any age. For some reason, military veterans and athletes are more likely to be diagnosed with ALS, and no one yet knows why. Though there's no cure, that doesn't mean there's no hope. Technology, ranging from electric wheelchairs to computerized speech generators, allows patients to overcome limitations and live fuller lives. Researchers are working on finding a cure for ALS, funded by donations from programs such as the Ice Bucket Challenge and the Walk to Defeat ALS. An increased awareness of the disease has helped change public policy, so ALS patients can more easily get the help that they need. If you want to help, or if you've been affected by ALS and need to get help, contact your local chapter of the ALS Association.
Now I will explain who Otto is with a video that was done by Microsoft in 2018 when the eye control of Windows was announced. This software tool, besides an eye tracker from the Tobii Dynavox PCI+. They changed my life since I was using the foot for 5 years to type with the virtual keyboard of Windows. My typing speed increased by 125%.
Taco Bell in Guatemala currently has 54 stores. We've been growing exponentially. We have millions of transactions in our servers in the cloud. Otto was the one that showed us this perfect tool for us to manage all this information.
Guatemala is very competitive in the hotel business, and Otto developed a dashboard in Power BI where we could see all the rates that we were publishing and compare them with our competition.
The telecommunications business is always changing, so you need to be able to analyze a lot of information in a small amount of time. Working with Otto has been an amazing experience. He has no limitations, and he has been helping us quite a lot.
Otto was very important in Guatemala because he managed all the implementation of the system of the ATMs, and he introduced business intelligence for the industry in the banking. 20 years ago, he was diagnosed with ALS, that was Lou Gehrig disease.
I could not imagine doing nothing, so I became a data analyst, helping local businesses put in place strategies around data. I had learned to use my feet to operate a foot mouse so I could type with the on-screen keyboard.
I'm a Windows insider, and Windows 10 came with an eye tracking feature, and I think it was amazing. This is a very good feature for people that has challenge with mouse or keyboards. After that, I made some posts in my blog and auto-read. This is the moment that starts. all the history.
It would not be polite to tell you what I yelled when I read Juan Manuel's blog post. I immediately contacted him and said that I wanted to try it.
It's very easy to implement because it's immersed in Windows. You can work with all the applications that you run in Windows. Office, Notepad, Power BI, even WhatsApp web, only with eye tracking. The productivity of Otto rise with eye tracking, and the interaction was very fluid and very easy.
I can type faster now, as if I had my own hands back, after many years of not having the mobility to type on a regular keyboard. I became independent and can interact directly with clients when I have questions or need to explain something. I can also communicate with my loved ones much better.
This feature of eye tracking is a very good example for the mission of Microsoft, that is build software for better life in the persons.
I was given 2 to 5 years to live, and 20 years have gone by. If life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Even with a terminal disease, you can still do things with a positive attitude. My top goal is to become the oldest MVP for Microsoft.
To update the video's information, after a few months that it was done, I was hired by Microsoft in Seattle, Washington, for the Power BI Customer Advisory Team. It has been an incredible experience working for Microsoft. As always, many thanks to our patrons that support this YouTube channel and the project to help us learn how to aid disabled people through automation. If you like this video, please give it a big thumb up and subscribe to my channel to keep up with videos.